Now we're also going to look at absolute value. Remember, an absolute value. The definition of absolute equation, absolute value of x equals 3, solved by finding real numbers at a distance of 3 units from 0. So here's 0. 3 is 3 units from 0, and so is negative 3. So this solution set is the set negative 3 and 3. We have to remember that when solving absolute value equations. Some basic things about absolute value equations. If b is greater than 0, or b is positive, and absolute value of a equals b if and only either a equals b or a equals negative b, or b is positive. If I have the absolute value of a equals the absolute value of b if and only if a equals b or a equals negative b. So notice this is the same whether the second part is a plain number or an absolute value. Now, if the absolute value equals 0, then it equals 0. It's not a positive or a negative, it's just plain 0. If the absolute value equals b, but b is negative, it's less than 0, then there is no solution. You cannot have an absolute value that is equal to a negative number, because an absolute value is a distance, and you cannot have a distance less than 0. So solving this absolute value equation, I've got an absolute value equals 7. That means the absolute value, what's inside this absolute value, 9 minus 4x, either equals 7 or 9 minus 4x equals negative 7. I've already got the x's on one side, so subtract 9 from both sides here. I'll end up with negative 4x equals negative 2. Divide by negative 4, x is 1/2. 2 divided by 4 is 1/2. Here, when I subtract 9 from both sides, I'll end up with negative 4x equals negative 16, or x equals 4. So there are two solutions to this absolute value equation. Either x is 1/2 or x is 4. When you have an equation that has two inequalities in it, you still use the same rule. So 3x plus 2 equals x minus 5. If they both had the same signs, that would be true. Or, if the signs happen to be different, 3x plus 2 equals negative of x minus 5. Notice we're only taking negative of the one side. So here's subtracting x from each side. 2x plus 2 equals negative 5. Subtract 2 from each side. 2x equals negative 7. And x equals negative 7/2. For the other side, remove the parentheses. 3x plus 2 equals negative x plus 5. So adding x to both sides, 4x plus 2 equals 5. 4x equals 3, and x equals 3/4 would be my solution.